A woman walked into a popular fast food chain and asked for a large Coke. But with no ice, because ice takes up space and I want more soda. Reasonable, sure. Moments later, she returned furious. This drink is warm. Why didn't you put ice in it? The poor teen behind the counter blinked, trapped in a quantum paradox where both ice and no ice were expected simultaneously. The woman then demanded to see the manager, because clearly this was a matter of corporate sabotage. The manager, now regretting every career choice that led him here, explained that she had indeed asked for no ice. Well, yeah, she snapped, but I didn't want it to be this warm. She wanted a cold drink with no ice, because apparently science should bend to customer expectations. After a long stare down and a lukewarm explanation of thermodynamics, she left in protest, declaring she'd take her business somewhere that understands soda. Hopefully somewhere staffed by NASA engineers. The staff quietly renamed her the Quantum Customer, because she both wanted and didn't want ice, until observed. They walked into a luxury hotel lobby like they owned the place, sunglasses on indoors, Bluetooth earpiece blinking aggressively, and a Starbucks cup clutched like a trophy. Within minutes, the front desk received the complaint of the century. Excuse me, but your Wi-Fi is way too cold. The receptionist, bless her soul, blinked twice and asked if they meant slow. No, the guest clarified, the actual temperature in the lobby was colder when the Wi-Fi was on. Because apparently air molecules respond to internet packets now. The receptionist offered to adjust the AC, to which the guest responded, no, just turn off the Wi-Fi. I get goosebumps every time someone logs into Instagram. Management was called. The guests claimed they were EMF sensitive and could feel the frequency, a sort of sixth sense unlocked by binge-watching conspiracy TikToks. The manager nodded politely, trying not to laugh while Googling how to explain science to someone wearing anti-5G crystals around their neck. Eventually, the hotel complied by creating a fictional low-frequency mode, flipping a light switch in the server room, and assuring the guests that the energy flow has been stabilized. The guest smiled triumphantly and said, "Ah yes, much better," as if they just saved the building from an invisible radiation attack. Staff later renamed the lobby router Chill Zone in her honor. She left a 1-star review anyway, because the Wi-Fi still made her coffee taste weird. It started like any other Tuesday at a 5-star beach resort, until room 308 called down in panic. The issue? The toilet flushes too loudly. It scared me, the guest reported, with the tone of someone describing a live grenade. The staff politely explained that all toilets have standard water pressure, but the guest insisted the noise was traumatizing and felt like a jet engine trying to suck me into another dimension. A maintenance worker was sent, armed with nothing but a wrench and an expression of disbelief. He flushed it once, perfectly normal, but the guest yelped and hid behind the curtains. She asked if he could lower the volume. When told that wasn't how plumbing works, she demanded they replace it with a quieter model, preferably one that whispered. As a temporary fix, housekeeping offered earplugs. The guest accepted, then called again hours later to complain the earplugs were too yellow and didn't match her sleep aesthetic. Eventually, they solved the problem by taping it. Whisper mode activated. Sign above the toilet tank and telling her it had software update version 2.1. Now. She flushed it once, nodded in satisfaction and said, "Much better." The best part? She left a glowing review, not for the resort but for the toilet tech support team. At a coastal resort in Hawaii, a guest stormed the front desk around midnight, barefoot and furious. The reason? "I can't sleep because the ocean is too loud." She wasn't joking. She pointed to the beach and demanded the staff turn it down a little, as if Poseidon had a volume knob. The receptionist, suppressing laughter like a hostage negotiator, calmly explained that the ocean was not part of the resort's amenities. Unmoved, the guest suggested, maybe moving the waves further out during the night shift to reduce the sound near her balcony. When told this was, unfortunately, not possible, she asked to speak to a manager of the ocean. By 1 a.m., she had escalated the issue to TripAdvisor, complaining about uncontrolled water noise pollution and untrained sea behavior. The next morning, to pacify her, the staff upgraded her to a suite farther from the beach, near the road, where she later complained about cars driving with too much purpose. At checkout, she left a review titled, "Nature Needs Better Regulation," awarding 2 stars, one of which was solely for the valiant effort of staff trying to manage the Pacific. She also added a final suggestion: maybe install soundproof glass around the ocean next time? A note was left in her customer file: do not house within 10 miles of nature. Her feedback was printed out and pinned to the staff room wall, right next to a sticky note that read, "You can't make this stuff up." At a 5-star hotel bar in Vegas, a sharply dressed guest waved over the bartender with visible frustration. The issue? His drink, specifically, the ice in it was too cold. He swirled his glass dramatically, frowning like it had insulted his ancestors. "I asked for a chilled cocktail," he snapped. "Not Arctic punishment." The bartender, caught in the twilight zone of luxury complaints, asked for clarification. The guest explained he wanted the coolness without the frostbite. When told the ice would naturally be cold, because, well, science, he leaned in, whispering as if sharing trade secrets. "Maybe use room temperature ice next time?" Behind the bar, another employee coughed to hide a laugh, while the bartender nodded solemnly like a priest hearing confession. A new drink was made using half-melted ice cubes, which the guest sniffed approvingly, muttering, "Much more civilized." Later that evening, the same man complained that his complimentary spa towel was too absorbent, and had removed all the water from his skin too aggressively. At checkout, he suggested the hotel train the ice better, adding, "Luxury is about balance, not thermal shock." His review? 3 stars. 1 for the lighting, 1 for the decor, and 1 for the brave bartender who endured my suffering with grace. He's now immortalized in the hotel's internal staff training manual under the section titled, "High Maintenance, Higher Comedy." During her luxurious beach vacation in the Maldives, one guest made a complaint so bold it echoed louder than the waves themselves. She marched up to the concierge and, with complete seriousness, demanded a room change. The reason? The ocean is too loud at night. She claimed the waves were inconsiderate of light sleepers. The stunned staff politely explained that the resort was, in fact, on an island surrounded by water, and that the sound of the ocean was, historically, part of the appeal. Unbothered, she suggested they turn down the sea, or relocate the cabana slightly inland. When told that wouldn't be possible without a miracle or a bulldozer, she sighed, declaring, "This is why I usually go to Paris." Later, she left a review calling the Indian Ocean unregulated, and accused it of ruining her REM cycles. She even offered a suggestion box card that read, "Install a mute button for nature." The staff now use her complaint as a running joke, rating guest attitudes on a scale of 1 to Ocean Lady. Last heard, she was Googling quiet oceans while sipping a margarita with noise-canceling headphones strapped over her sun hat. A force of delusion meets the force of nature, and nature lost a star rating. A guest at an Alaskan wilderness lodge had what can only be described as a National Geographic-level panic attack upon spotting a real polar bear from her window. Bursting into the lobby in her designer boots and faux fur coat, she frantically demanded, "Why didn't anyone tell me polar bears were actual animals?" The front desk staff, initially assuming it was a joke, chuckled politely, until she pulled out her phone and showed them a blurry picture of the creature stalking her from 100 yards away. "This is false advertising," she huffed. "I thought polar bears were a mascot or something from Coke commercials." When informed the lodge was in fact known for its polar bear sightings, she gasped like she just discovered gravity. "You should have a warning sign or something," she cried. "Like caution, Arctic animals might appear in the Arctic." She later left a scathing online review claiming the staff failed to disclose the presence of wildlife in the wilderness. When another guest kindly explained that polar bears are endangered, she replied, "Yeah, well, they should stay in brochures." The staff has since framed her complaint next to a taxidermy moose with a sign that reads, "Not an actor." The bear, meanwhile, went back to doing polar bear things, blissfully unaware it had been accused of trespassing.